But it's a delight to hear about why it happened from so many people who were so wrong about what was going to happen. And everyone has their own pet theory. But there's one theory that a lot of people seem to be coalescing around.
They were too woke, insisting that people use the term Latinx.
You have to say they. No, you have to do this.
Stop with the virtue signaling.
Step away from woke. Focus less on who is woke and more on who is broke. And although Oprah says she wasn't paid a cent by Harris, the campaign did pay her company $1 million to produce Oprah's star-studded town hall. Well, isn't that paying? And the Harris team reportedly spent 6 figures to build that set I told you about on that Call Her Daddy podcast, you know, which I got her hundreds of thousands of views, but I mean, I don't know that it was cost effective. And then you got Eminem, then you got Beyonce. So let's talk to somebody who lived it, okay? And is speaking out now with her own concerns. Lindy Lee joining us now. Lindy, thank you very much for taking the opportunity.
I'm a huge fan of yours. I've watched you for like a decade, so thank you so much for having me.
Well, it is good to be here. And let's start just with you for a second with this question. What are you doing talking about what happened in the campaign and absolutely putting a target on your head?
Thanks for joining us.
You might be thinking you've seen it or another person. Kamala Harris' campaign dished out $500K to our something non-profit just weeks before her big interview with him. So, was the Harris campaign just one big money laundering scheme? That is a question a lot of people are asking on social media. According to the Washington Free Beacon, the Harris campaign sent one $250K payment on September 5th and then another $250K payment on October 1st. On October 3rd, Shampton shared a video of Harris wishing him a happy birthday. About 2 weeks later, on October 20, Shampton had an interview with Kamala Harris where he praised her for her extraordinary historic campaign. He also blasted Trump for being hostile and erratic. All this is causing a lot of people to question the whole thing. Like, why is this happening even? It therefore means the whole campaign was fake. Nothing was genuine.
I feel as though I'm one of the only voices speaking out. And if we do not confront the lessons of election night, it's going to happen over and over again. We're going to keep losing. If we don't recognize a rightward shift of America, we are also going to lose. We have to have a careful financial accounting of what exactly happened. How did we possibly blow through $1 billion in just 3 months? It's just astounding, not just to me, but to many of my fellow donors. I've been speaking with them on an hourly basis. People are just completely shocked and just craving answers. A lot of them are sending me messages of support, asking me to stay the course and to keep asking. And we just haven't really gotten any explanation from the campaign as to what happened. And I say this, it pains me to say this. This is very hard for me to say because these are my friends. These are my, these are people that I've worked with for a long time. But if we don't have any accountability, how could we possibly move forward in an effective way, not only to serve this party, but serve our country?
What a joke. She didn't mention that her company got $1 million. You omitted that, Oprah. It was like threading the needle. So she didn't take personal payment, she claimed. Now, look at this set. That cost $1 million, and the Kamala Harris campaign paid for all of it. And it looks like a nice set. They've got all the video monitors. I don't get it. Why wouldn't Oprah have used her production company, her set?
Yes, Oprah posted this few hours on social media. Usually, I'm reluctant to respond to rumors in general, but these days I realize that if you don't stop a lie, it just gets bigger. I was not paid a dime. My time and energy was my way of supporting the campaign. For the live streaming event in September, my production company, Hapo, was asked to bring in set design, light, camera, microphones, crew, producers, and every other item necessary, including the benches and chairs we sat on. to put on a live production. I did not take any personal fee. However, the people who worked on that production needed to be paid and were. End of story. Oprah responded to that video, and a lot of people are trashing her on social media, partaking to
The biggest flop not only was just the vote total, but it actually was a lot of the money decisions that were made inside the campaign. So we have curated now a list. It appears that the Kamala Harris campaign, despite raising over $1 billion, still ended up some $20 million or so in debt and is now currently fundraising, still asking people for money after she lost. Let's put this up there on the screen. So this is an example of one of the emails that she's been sending out now. She says, first and foremost, we want to acknowledge the fear, the confusion, the sadness many of you are feeling at this moment. For others, you may be looking for something meaningful and important to channel your emotions. If that's you, then we're asking you to make a donation to the Democratic Party today. Here's why this is important. As you read this, there are U.S. Senate and House races that are too close to call or within the margin of recounts. They all need your help to get across the finish line. So can you please rush a contribution to the Harris Fight Fund program today? Does anyone want to name like a high-profile race other than Pennsylvania that's not in recount territory? That's right. So this is a grift. Let's all be honest. Let's put this up there on the screen from Newsweek. It appears that there is a significant amount of debt within the Harris-Walz campaign, enough so, possibly up to the sum of some $20 million. And people are starting to ask major questions about how some of that got spent.
I just like the fact that a lot of people are picking this story up, though I have not seen this from the mainstream media. They are not reporting about the whole thing. I understand why they are not doing that. Now, looking at the set here, I think this Daddy podcast, that is where they paid 100,000 just to set up. When I look at the whole thing, stories I was getting on social media, influencer coming to say, oh, I was being paid to say this, it convinced me to start believing those people. Yeah. At first, I didn't want to pay attention, but from all this information we are getting.
I've always been a fan of Kamala, even back when she was running for, I remember writing her a check when she was like the district attorney for something. Maybe it was to get out of a parking ticket or something. But I've been writing her checks for a long time. And I just want to bring my daughters to the White House to meet this black woman president.
According to a lot of sources I've seen, which I'm going to show you, Megyn replied to this, why would Harris pay someone to endorse her? And if you are Oprah, why do you need another $1 million? For God's sake, give it to a food bank or people in need. There is just a rot in America campaign money celebrating and how it is spent, and I'm so grossed out by this. A lot of people are extremely concerned about what is going on, and they are not happy with it.
Over these numbers, $10 million for Beyonce to step up and back Kamala Harris publicly, $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion, $3 million for Lizzo, $1.8 million for Eminem. I mean, is that normally how it goes? You spend $20 million, you get yourself in debt to try to get a bunch of rich celebrities on stage? I'd never seen that. Maybe I'm ignorant of the fact, but wow.
I actually saw so many liberals getting super excited every time Kamala had a new celebrity endorsement. But we all know for a fact that these celebrity endorsements are not free.
You're very good. How do you think the election went?
Not talking about the election. Thank you very much.
Oh, is it true that they paid you $1 million for the endorsement for Kamala?
Not true.
Not true, okay.
Now it's time to unite everybody.
There are a lot of skeptics out there who don't think President Trump is going to be about unity.
I want to know what would change after doing this.
Comes out against Trump.
I don't care if they write that. So, with that, I'm going to shake it off.
Figure out a way to say thank you.
That guy's name, he's such an absolute prick. I can't stand him. But anyway.
Hey there. How are you doing? If you watch this show regularly, I'm guessing you're not doing great. Yeah, me neither.
Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants.
What will the rest of us be doing on day one? Now's the time to stand in solidarity with our friends, with our neighbors.
Well,
Bishop Vigano, he says that
power, you're the opposition party.